Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're starting on a long, thrilling dive into the incredible life of Albert Einstein. You know, the guy with the wild hair and even wilder, more extraordinary ideas. If you're here to polish, improve your English while soaking up, absorbing something cool, you've landed in the perfect spot. This script is crafted to make English fun, easy to grasp, understand, and super engaging. So, grab a snack, kick back, and let's travel back in time to meet one of history's greatest minds. Oh, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you enjoy this. It really keeps the channel rolling. Ready? Let's dive in. Title: The Genius of Albert Einstein. A journey through his life and mind. Albert Einstein wasn't just a scientist, he was a dreamer, a rebel, nonconformist, and a guy who totally revolutionized, transformed how we view the universe. His story is brimming, overflowing with surprises, struggles, and some jaw-dropping, astonishing discoveries. We're going to unravel, explore it step by step, digging, investigating into why he's still a legend today. Buckle up, get ready. This is going to be a wild ride. Part 1. The Early Days. A Slow Start for a Genius. Let's kick things off. Begin with where it all started. Albert Einstein was born on March 14th, 1879, in a quaint, charming little town called Ulm in Germany. Picture this: a serene place with cobblestone streets, horse-drawn carriages clattering, making noise along, and a family celebrating their new baby boy. Sounds adorable, right? But here's the kicker, surprise. Little Albert wasn't exactly your typical, usual kid. A quiet child. His parents actually fretted, worried about him, because he didn't talk much until he was around 3 years old. Can you believe it? Most kids are babbling, talking nonstop by then, but Albert, he was just pondering, thinking deeply. Some people, even guessed, he might have a learning hiccup, problem. Spoiler alert, they were way off, completely wrong. His silence wasn't a glitch, fault. It was a hint of his brilliant mind brewing, developing. Curiosity overrules. When he finally piped up, started speaking, he was bursting full with questions. Why does the moon appear so big? What whips up, creates the wind? He wasn't the kid who just nodded along, agreed. He hungered to know why. That curiosity, desire to learn, was like a tiny spark, flame, that lit up his whole life. It's what set him apart, made him special. School struggles. Now here's a juicy, interesting tidbit, fact. Einstein wasn't a straight A whiz. Genius. Shocking, huh? He hated the rigid, strict rules at school. His teachers labeled him as lazy because he didn't memorize stuff like the others. Instead, he'd drift off, daydream, into big ideas. One teacher even said angrily, "You'll never amount to anything." Ouch! Imagine that teacher's jaw-dropping shock later when Einstein's sword succeeded. A different mind. His family spotted his quirks, odd traits, early. He loved puzzles and stacking, building card towers taller than him. He'd tinker, play with toys, figuring out how they worked. That's a sneak peek, preview into how his brain functioned. He wasn't about parroting, repeating facts. He was about unraveling, discovering mysteries. A shy spark. His mom once said he'd mumble, speak softly to himself, practicing sentences before saying them out loud. It's like he was testing the waters, trying carefully, a little shy, but oh so smart. So what's the lesson here? Even if you're a late bloomer, slow starter, or don't fit with the crowd, that doesn't mean you can't shine, succeed. Einstein's brain was just wired, connected differently, and that's what we're going to unpack, explore next. Part 2. The teen years. Rebels and big dreams. Okay, let's move quickly forward a bit. Einstein's family moved to Munich, then later to Italy and Switzerland. By his teenage years, he was flaunting, showing off that rebel, independent thinker, streak, trait. He didn't want to follow the herd, group. He wanted to create his own trail, path, ditching the rules. At 16, he actually quit school in Germany. Yep, you heard that right. The genius abandoned class. He hated the military atmosphere there. All that marching and barking, shouting orders. He sweet-talked, persuaded his parents into letting him leave, and off he went to Switzerland to finish high school. Trust me, that gutsy, brave leap, jump, changed his whole story. Math and science love. In Switzerland, he fell head over heels, deeply in love with math and physics. He'd spend hours poring over, studying carefully books, imagining how the world worked. One of his favorite daydreams was, what if I hitched rode on a ray of light? Sounds bonkers, crazy, right? But that quirky, odd, musing thought planted the start for his colossal, huge breakthroughs, discoveries. Not perfect at everything. Here's a giggle-worthy, funny nugget. He almost didn't get into college. He failed the entrance exam for the Swiss Federal Polytechnic. Yep, even Einstein had failures. The artsy, creative stuff tripped him up, confused him, but he hunkered down, worked hard, hit the books, studied, and passed it the next go. Takeaway, lesson, stumbles, mistakes are just pit stops, breaks, not roadblocks, dead ends. A young dreamer. In school, he'd doodle, sketch equations in the margins, edges, and argue with his professors. He wasn't shy about rocking the boat, challenging norms. That tenacity, stubbornness, made him a standout, unique, among the group. A taste of freedom. Switzerland was a breath of fresh air, relief. He loved the laid-back, relaxed vibe and started scribbling, writing ideas that'd later transform the world. It was like his mind finally had room to stretch, expand. By now you're probably eager to know, okay, he's brainy, smart, but when does the genius stuff start? Oh, it's barreling, coming fast your way, and it's going to amaze you. Part 3. The Miracle Year. 1905 changes everything. Let's jump to 1905, the year Einstein skyrocketed, became famous. He was 26, stuck, working at a ho-hum, boring job in a patent office in Switzerland. Visualize him at a desk, swamped, covered with piles of papers, sifting, sorting through inventions all day. Snooze-worthy, dull, right? But in his off hours, free time, he was whipping up, creating ideas that had turned science topsy-turvy, upside down. 4 game-changing papers. In 1905, Einstein published 4 scientific papers. That's right, 4 in 1 year. Scientists call it his miracle year because each one was a total bombshell, revolutionary idea. Let's break down these bad boys, papers. Paper 1. He proved light behaves like tiny particles, bits, not just waves. This brainwave idea paved the way, led to lasers and gizmos, tech we use daily, every day. Paper 2. He proved atoms exist by explaining how they wiggle, move in water. Mega nerdy, technical, but mega vital, important. Paper 3. Special relativity. Hold on to your hats, get ready. This one's bananas, wild. He said time and space aren't set, fixed. They warp, bend, depending on how fast you're moving. Brain fried, overwhelmed, yet. Paper 4. E equals mc squared. The big kahuna, famous one. It means energy and mass are buddies, linked, and a smidge, tiny bit of mass can release, a huge amount of energy. This equation shook the world, and not always for the better, as we'll see. Why it matters. These ideas weren't just neat, cool. They rewrote physics playbook, rules. Scientists were floored, shocked, stammering, struggling to say, who is this guy? And the kicker, best part, he pulled it off, did it, while juggling, balancing a 9-to-5 gig job. Talk about a multitasking wizard, expert. A hidden gem. He wasn't even a hotshot, big deal professor, just a clerk, office worker, with a pen and a head buzzing, full with wonders, marvels. His co-workers probably yawned, ignored him, clueless, unaware. They were rubbing elbows, working near, with a future titan, giant. The ripple effect. These papers didn't just sit there. They started debates, inventions, and a whole new way of looking at reality. 1905 was Einstein's breakout. Big moment. So 1905 was when Einstein changed from that oddball, weird kid, to science rock star. But his saga story doesn't hit the brakes, stop. Oh no, it revs up, gets crazier. Part 4. The big ideas, relativity and beyond. Now that Einstein was in the spotlight, famous, he didn't coast, relax. His next blockbuster, huge hit, was a theory of general relativity. Strap in, get ready, because this one's a doozy, wild ride. Gravity's new look. In 1915, he revealed general relativity. He said, gravity isn't just a tug, pull, pulling stuff down. It's how massive, huge objects like planets and stars twist, bend space and time. Think of space as a giant trampoline, bouncing surface, and a hefty, heavy ball, like the sun, dense, dips. It. Smaller balls roll toward it because of that curve. Bend. That's gravity, Einstein style, proving it. In 1919, scientists put his theory to the test, checked it, during a solar eclipse. Moon blocking sun. They saw starlight curving around the sun, just as Einstein predicted. Newspapers lost it, went crazy. Headlines blared, shouted, Einstein's right. Boom. He was a global phenom, superstar, overnight. Famous and funny. Fame brought some laugh-out-loud, hilarious moments. Fans would trap him on the street, pleading, begging, explain relativity. He'd show a grin, smile, and quip, joke. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute, and it feels like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it feels like a minute. That's relativity. His humor was razor sharp, clever. A creative twist. He didn't just calculate numbers. He used his imagination to reframe rethink the universe. That mashup, mix of creativity and logic, reasoning, made him a trailblazer, pioneer. The fame game. People started treating him like a celebrity. Photographers hounded, chased him, and he'd pose with that goofy, silly hair, loving the chaos, mess. Einstein wasn't just about formulas. He had a flair, talent for making cosmic, huge ideas feel down to earth, simple. That's why people still rave, talk excitedly about him today. Part 5, The Man Behind the Math, Einstein's Personality. Okay, let's hit pause, stop, on the Science and Gab chat about Einstein, the person. Because he wasn't just a brainiac, smart person. He was a total character, unique individual. The wild hair. You can't talk Einstein without that hair. It was tangled, messy, white, and poking, sticking out everywhere. He didn't sweat, worry about looking dapper, neat. He'd just joke. I'm too busy pondering, thinking, to tame, control my hair. It became his calling card, trademark. A simple guy. Even with fame, he stayed chill, relaxed. He loved slipping into wearing old, comfy, cozy sweaters and brace yourself, get ready, no socks. He'd chuckle, laugh lightly. Why fuss, bother with socks when shoes do the trick? Job. Vintage, classic, Einstein. Music and fun. He wasn't all work and no play, fun. Einstein played the violin like a pro, expert. When math got hairy, tough, he'd snatch, grab his violin, and belt out, play Mozart. He swore, promised, music fueled, sparked his best ideas. How rad cool is that? A peace lover. He had a giant heart, compassion too. After World War I, he rallied, spoke out for peace and slammed, criticized war. When the Nazis took over Germany, he had to bolt, escape, because he was Jewish. He landed in America and kept championing, supporting his beliefs. Quirky habits. He'd write notes on napkins, lose track, forget of his bike, and wander, roam, around lost in thought. People ate up, loved his goofy, silly charm, appeal, a kid at heart. He'd play with kids, sticking out his tongue for photos. He never lost that playful, fun, spark, energy. See? Einstein wasn't just a scientist. He was a guy with soul, heart, quirks, odd traits, and a zest, passion for life. That's why his story resonates, connects with us. Part 6, The Atomic Bomb, a dark twist. Now here's where the mood gets heavy, serious, literally. Einstein's work created something he never wanted, the atomic bomb. E equals mc squared in action. That equation, it showed how a speck, tiny bit, of mass could erupt, release massive energy. In the 1930s, scientists solved atom splitting and cooked up, made bombs. Einstein didn't build it, but his brainchild idea laid the groundwork, foundation. A tough choice. In 1939, with World War II starting, Einstein wrote a letter to President Roosevelt. He warned that the Nazis might create an atom bomb first. He agonized, struggled over it, but felt cornered, forced to speak up. That note started the Manhattan Project, which dropped bombs on Japan in 1945. Regret and reflection. Post-war, Einstein was crushed, devastated. He said sadly, "If I'd known, I'd have worked as a watchmaker." He spent his later years begging, pleading for peace and urging the world to abandon nukes. A complex legacy, It's a grim, harsh nudge reminder that even geniuses can't control how their brilliance, genius plays out, is used. Pretty deep, thought-provoking, right? Part 7. The Later Years. Legacy of a Legend. Let's finish with Einstein's final act, chapter. He lived until April 18, 1955, and even in his sunset later years, he was still dreaming big. Life in America. He settled in Princeton, New Jersey, at a university. Locals swooned, loved him. He'd amble, walk slowly, around in quirky, odd get-ups, outfits, swapping, sharing ID with students and scratching, writing equations on napkins. The unified dream. His last hurrah, big effort, was a theory of everything, one epic, grand idea to tie all physics together. He didn't nail it, solve it, but scientists are still hot on its trail, pursuing it today, leaving a mark. When he passed at 76, the world wept, grieved, but his ideas, they're timeless, eternal. From GPS in your pocket to black hole breakthroughs, Einstein's genius powers our lives daily. A lasting spark. He once said, imagination beats knowledge. That's his legacy, gift, a push, encouragement to keep wondering, staying curious. A global icon. Kids doodle, draw, his face, movies quote him. He's more than a scientist. He's a symbol, emblem of possibility. So what's his footprint, impact? He proved curiosity, grit, determination, and a bit of weirdness can reshape, transform the world. Why Einstein matters today. And there you go, crew, friends, the wild, wondrous, marvelous life of Albert Einstein. From a quiet kid who barely spoke to a global titan, icon, who rewrote reality, his tale story shows anyone can leave a mark, impact. Plus, his humor and heart make him a blast, fun to know. If you're leveling up, improving your English with me, I hope you grabbed some fresh, new words like relativity, how things connect, genius, super smarty, or daydream, imagine awake. Use them in a sentence and share it in the comments. What clicked with you in Einstein's journey? Any shocks, surprises? Tell me below. I love your thoughts. Before you leave, hit that like button if you liked this, and subscribe for more fun to lift your English. Tap the bell so you're always in the loop, updated. Thanks for hanging out with me. You're stellar, awesome. See you next time.